All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to the 80s Anime Playlist podcast. We are your hosts. I am Griffin.
Hello, and I'm Robot Bing, aka Dave. Hey, Griffin.
Hey, um, so basically, just to give a little bit more context on what we do, we found this playlist on YouTube of a bunch of old school anime. We love old school anime, so we're gonna try to watch them all. There are like 560 videos or 650 videos, I think, in the playlist. We're trying to watch them all and reviewing them and talking about them, and we are telling you about them and recommending whether or not you should watch the anime. So,
Don't you hate when you lose your robot cigarettes, Griffin?
yes, I hate when I lose my robot cigarettes.
Cigarettes and you can't find them because you want to use them as a prop in your podcast?
Yes.
God, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, we're getting into. We watched Robot Carnival this weekend. Well, a couple weekends ago, and I guess just general thought before Griffin reads off like the plot synopsis. I thought it was a pretty. It's one of those animes that it's like a bunch of shorts mixed together. So kind of like Neo Tokyo and Memories, which are some of our favorites as well. And I thought this one was one of like the better of those, which I think is saying a lot because like Neo Tokyo Memories are definitely up there in like my top. So I was really
Yeah.
stoked on this one.
Yeah, it was really good. I definitely I definitely really enjoyed it. I thought it was very well executed. I thought the shorts were for the most part all really good. I think there were still some flaws in like some of the shorts, but I think overall like they were still very good and very well executed. I really enjoyed them.
Oh yeah. Robots
Uh,
smoke actually through their eyes, so that's like just what I'm doing. If you guys were confused about why is he putting cigarettes in his eyes, that's the reason. And I appeared again. Griffin, let's check out that plot synopsis, dude. Read it off, bud.
all right.
Get crazy with it.
All right. So it opens the movie with this Katsuhiro Otomo animation of a young boy with cows finding a message poster and running to tell the town about it. It's about the robot carnival. A giant moving sand, like one of those Jawa things from Star Wars, but it's
It was like
like
a big like sand crawler, yeah.
yeah, big sand crawler
Yeah.
comes and like comes to the town and pretty much destroys everything. Um, People watch from the hillside in fear. And then there's this big, like, opening graphic that's like Robot Carnival, which that's what this is. Oh, wait. That's what this is from.
Nice.
Yeah. Do we want to give our ratings for each
Yeah, I
part?
feel like how about we just do like each section here and then we just go through each section. You cool with that?
I'm cool with that.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I at least like the opener. I really liked it. I was
Yeah,
telling
I liked it too.
Griffin while we were watching it about there was a cool Vampire Hunter D uh story where basically he finds this like floating ship that's sort of just kind of floating like these there was all these big airships when like the apocalypse happened basically and like all of humanity was kind of like destroyed by like vampires and there was these floating cities that a lot of humanity like kind of ran to. Obviously, a lot of them died because vampires are more powerful, but they were all run by these. What turned that was like the big plot twist was like the mayor was like a cyborg, and basically all the humans had died long ago, but like this town was like thriving for some reason, which was really odd. And it turned out he like kind of figured out how to like mix vampire DNA with like human DNA, but like it wore off, so everyone started to turn into a vampire at the end, which was pretty cool, but I felt like this Robot Carnival was sort of like remnants of like, you know, humanity tried to make like this cool like Robot Carnival, but then it just like went all, you know, to total shit. And it was just like kind of like roaming through the desert, like just wreaking total havoc and kind of like robot let loose. So I really, even though it was really short, it's really short. Like it's only like, how long do you think it was? Like just a couple minutes.
Just a couple minutes, maybe
Yeah.
like 5.
Yeah, but even with it being short, like it actually left a pretty big impression on me. So that made me stoked for the rest of the movie.
Great tone setter, and of course, Katsuhiro Otomo's art is so good.
Yeah, and remind us what are some other featured projects of his?
Akira,
Yes. Okay.
Steam Boy,
Okay. And is he the
and
director or is he like the animator of these?
he's the director.
Okay, cool. So big important part. Absolutely.
He also directed Short Piece, which we've seen.
Yes.
He directed one of the segments in Neo Tokyo. One he directed Memories, and as well as animated one of the segments. Um, what else?
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. No, those are all fantastic. So wouldn't tout any less. Even with like just like a minute, still was able to make something super compelling. So,
yeah,
did you want to like give a? Should we give like a rating and stuff or?
yeah. So let's start with art.
Okay, cool.
Art, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I
Yeah,
thought it
no,
looked great. I think this whole movie looked great.
yes,
And
it
I think
did.
that's because just what the video was higher quality.
Yeah, I thought at least like the YouTube cut was a little bit better than the other ones. That have been like featured on the playlist so far in terms of like the fidelity was good, but also like it was pretty wild reading into this movie that this was kind of like a lot of these guys is like kind of first foray into like anime, and this is kind of like their like first like kind of like big budget thing. So I think a lot of why this was so good is spoken for just in like the raw talent, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, and like while there's definitely some talented folks behind like the previous films we've watched, like I don't think it, I don't think it really holds a candle to a lot of these guys. I know like I one of the animators of one of the following shorts, like he animated like Ghost in the Shell, like he animated was on
Angel's Egg.
Akira, yeah, Angel's Egg, like every like pretty like stylishly cool anime, like the dude was on the animation team, so yeah, it's yeah. The rest of the film, like also, I think this is a great tone setter, as you said, and I think the rest of the art is comparable
Oh
as well
yeah.
throughout the film. So really good
Animation,
score.
another 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Another 10 out of 10. I just don't think I straight up just don't think there's another discussion. Like,
No, agreed.
um plot, I mean it's just an intro. I gave it an NA, not applicable.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, I know like I went on a whole rant about like another kind of like Japanese sort of storyline, but like it made me think for an intro. I thought pretty darn thoughtful, and also I feel like thematically it did sort of set the tone for like what kind of like themes that the rest of the shorts were kind of like exploring, because there was definitely a thematic trend of the you know just like kind of like technology and humanity, like every short had something to do with that. And this
Yeah.
definitely set the tone that like the relationship is rocky. And I think the rest of the films also like while like have nuance to them had deliver thematically like that too.
Yeah. Characters. It wasn't really a character piece,
No,
so it feels wrong to really rate it on characters, and this did factor into my overall rating, which maybe it shouldn't have. So I gave it a 5 out of 10. I don't know. It feels weird rating it on characters, which I did.
that's fair.
Is your background picture from a forest fire?
No, it's actually from an event in Stalker
Oh, sick.
when like basically like at least like more so. It's sometimes happened in the first playthrough of Shadows of Chernobyl, but they put it more in I guess is what was I playing? Oh my gosh. I forgot the sequel to it, but like there's these like events where you have to like go inside and like the world basically like the zone like radiates a bunch of energy and you usually
Okay.
die if you're outside of it. So inside of it. But like your character doesn't, and that's why people are like, why don't you die even when you're in a zone event? So that's where that's from.
The tweet I put out got a like on Twitter, which
Whoa.
that's obvious. So maybe we'll have a viewer pretty soon. I doubt it,
Maybe,
but
dude. Viewers or not, I'm going all in, dude. Let's put it that way.
viewers
But
or not, we're going all in. We don't do this for viewers. We just do this
no,
because we love anime.
yes, you said it, bud. And I guess like just going back to the intro, I would totally rate it like a 10 out of 10 to be honest with you. I feel like you can't really like have like a strong character in the intro because the thing about the intros is I think it's meant to set the thematic tone of the piece. At least like when it like comes to like a shorts compilation, like I think you want your intro to like speak the theme and not have allow that be taken away by like too strong of like a character or something. Like there were humans, there were robots, and the like, and I don't know. I felt like that's kind of what every piece is about is human and robot relationships, and like I think like leave the intro to just like again like setting more of like what the message is or at least like what are the themes that are going to be explored and leave character and plot for like the 10-minute shorts that we watched subsequently. So I thought
Yeah, I think like that's probably true. That's probably a good idea. I agree. I give it, I gave it a 7 out of 10 because of that. Because I was like, well, I have to rate it holistically. I
yeah,
felt like I had to. But
no,
if we're
respect
just
that.
going off like if it's an intro, does it do what it has to? Then I give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
10
yeah,
out of 10.
yeah. Awesome.
All right, let's talk about Starlight Angel. I love Starlight Angel.
I'm glad you love Starlight
I
Angel,
loved
Griffin.
Starlight Angel. I thought it was so good. So it opens on an amusement park with two girls who seem to be. I wrote they seem to be dating, but turns out they weren't dating. I don't know. There was one girl dating this guy.
Yeah, it's like in I don't know. It's like a shut-in Asian guy's idea of like a female relationship, which might be like kind of like dumb. I don't know. Maybe he does have a bunch of gal friends though. I didn't assume they were dating. I thought they were just like friends. Um, but it was a
Yeah,
little bit. I thought because it was a little bit of a dated interpretation of perhaps what being female friends are though. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, it came out in the '80s.
Yeah, this one was. I felt like this one wore its time, like the time of its creation, like the most on its sleeve.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think so.
yeah,
I
which
like.
I feel like is like good, like the amusement park like setting. I thought was like a little bit cheesy, but it was pretty 80s though, and like when I think of like a lot of like 80s movies, is always like I don't know, there's a lot of amusement park stuff.
Yeah,
But whatever. Sorry. Finish your
I love the
synopsis.
'80s. Hate Ronald
Yeah, I mean,
Reagan. Hate Ronald Reagan.
yeah, I mean, I feel like the '80s, like, there's some cool stuff in the '80s, but there's some pretty uncool stuff in the '80s. At least in terms when we're talking about art. I like politics aside.
Yeah, the
Yeah, like I
politics of
like,
the '80s were fucked.
yeah, like I'm a big fan of like Top Gun and Tony Scott. I think those movies are pretty. I think that movie's pretty awesome. But like, I don't know. There's just definitely some like I don't know. I feel like there's just some stuff that I'm trying to think of like something specific that I find distasteful of the '80s, but I can't really off the top of my head.
I don't like Top Gun. I don't like a lot of American '80s media, except for like, well, there's Top Gun's bad.
Dude, are you sure about that?
Yeah,
Dude, it's so cool. I mean, it's one of the. I feel like it's one of the coolest like shot '80s movies. And Take My Breath Away is awesome song, and you will not take that away from me.
Take My Breath Away is such an okay song.
Oh my gosh, dude. Are you fooling me right now?
No,
Dude, that's the
I'm
guy that
dead
like
serious.
literally like what the how do you pronounce the producer's name? Gregorio Mordor or something like that.
Oh, Giorgio Moroder.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's so good. Like that guy's awesome. That dude's like Vangelis cool in my opinion. I like that guy. I actually saw him at Pitchfork, and I know he was a big influence like Daft Punk and
Oh, he's a big influence on everyone. Giorgio
yeah,
Moroder is awesome.
yeah, I
But
know.
that
And that's
song
why.
is just not good.
Oh my
Even Genius is
gosh,
like the Beatles. Did not all the Beatles
that's
songs are good songs.
dude,
Not all the Beach Boys songs are good songs. And look, I got fucking
dude.
Brian Wilson did not only write good songs.
Tom Cruise driving the Suzuki really fast, and his girlfriend driving that was it that silver? Maybe it wasn't a Porsche. Darn it, I forgot. Maybe I forgot what car. The cars were so cool, and the planes were awesome, and it was like whatever. All right, teach their own. Teach their own. Teach their own. That's what I
I
say
like
to that.
movies with substance, David. They can't just be style.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. That is where we definitely differ occasionally, and you
Yeah.
think what I'm watching is trash. I'm like, wait, but yeah, no, it's valid though.
I like style when style is ironic, but like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why, okay. So I don't know if have we talked about Space Dandy yet? Because I can talk more about Space Dandy.
Yeah, I feel like Space Dandy's totally in that vein.
Space Dandy's in that vein, but Space Dandy's self aware.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I feel like okay, here's at least like when I watch like Tony Scott movies, I feel like they are a little bit self-aware of like kind of how ridiculous they are. But it's not like Adult Swim sort of self-awareness. It's like have you seen True Romance before?
Oh, I love True Romance. True
Yeah, you
Romance
know
is
how
my favorite Tarantino
yeah,
film.
you know how there's like in like Gary
That's
Oldman's
Tony
like
Scott?
that's a Tony Scott film. Yeah.
Okay, well, fucking, like, obviously I just don't like Top Gun, but, like, True Romance is amazing. I
No,
love
that's
True
fine,
Romance.
but Top Gun's a little bit more subtle and like it's like awareness. Like it's more like it's like True Romance, where like you know how Gary Oldman. Oh man,
Oh, here we
yo,
go.
here
Here we
just
go.
Wong
Here
coming
we
into the
go. Let me display the
chart.
comment. Oh, I can
Alex
put
in
you
the
in timeout.
chart.
I can put you in timeout, Alex. Should I put you in timeout?
No, don't. He's nice enough to show up. Bless, but no. I forgot what I was saying. Forget it. Who cares? We should probably get back on track anyway.
Yeah, we should. Okay, so Starlight Angel. They run past this robot. One of the girl with brown hair, leaves a pendant. We see an Easter egg of Tetsuo walking with Akira, which is sick. And that's actually not an Easter egg from the anime. That is an Easter egg from the manga.
Right, because the anime had not come out yet, right?
No, it had.
Oh, it had. Okay.
I think.
Oh,
You're
cigarettes have
dropping
been
your
smoked.
cigarettes, Robot
Cigarettes
Bing.
have been smoked. I smoked them all in one. That's Robot Dave's advantage. In one puff, I can smoke a whole cigarette. Are you impressed? And I smoked two at the same time because I have two eyes, and as you know, robots smoke six. But okay, sorry.
Yes, of course.
Here, let me change lenses so I'm more serious. Okay, I'm ready now.
Yes, we need to be serious. This is a very serious podcast.
It is.
Right, Alex? Robot searches for her to return her pendant. The girl sees the man who gave her pendant, runs away because she lost it. Then there's this shot of the brown-haired girl crying, and I thought that shot was awesome. It was so awesome, I wrote it down. Girl runs into a ride and gets forcibly placed in the ride by the robot. She then falls through the sky, and the robot who grabbed her pendant saves her. He gives her the pendant, but she refuses and hits hits him and flies off. A giant attack robot appears, and the robot fights it, but is hit by a laser, and his armor falls off. It turns out it's just a guy in a suit. The guy is sexy.
Naturally.
The attack robot catches the girl, and the other guy uses the star pendant, which shifts into a spear to destroy it by stabbing it into its eye. It was cool. This felt like a vaporwave music video or like a future funk music video.
That's fair. That's fair. I can see that.
I really liked it. I thought it was just like, oh, we got another viewer. Viewer, comment. We love our comments. We love talking to our viewers. Even if you want to be mean to us and talk mad-ish, that's fine. We'll just ignore you.
We can. I don't know, but I guess like in terms of the flick, I thought it was I thought like there were some better ones in there, but I definitely thought like going back to that style, the substance conversation. I thought it was styling, and there was still some like substance to it, like at least like when you were speaking to like how like the robot turned into a man. I think like the robot being like, hey, you drop this was like pretty like that was a pretty like human thing for like a robot to do. So I feel like the ending was kind of like, if like a robot has the potential to do that, are they like kind of like just as human as like a human, since like they were like programmed to be like compassionate or whatever.
Yeah, it kind of brings up. Have you heard about the Google AI that apparently like one Google engineer thought passed the Turing test?
Oh yeah, and then he got fired right away. Yeah, which is super sketchy.
Yeah.
And yeah. That's
The
interesting.
singularity is coming.
Dude, I can't wait for oh shit. What's the Tron 2 people that manifested out of nowhere? Hold up. I have to look this up. Tron Legacy plot. If you haven't seen this, you should watch it. It's a great movie. Griffin will likely disagree with me, but I think
I've seen Tron Legacy. I
Okay.
didn't know Tron Legacy was Tron 2.
Yeah, it is Tron 2. Okay, what are they called? ISOs. Yeah, dude. It'll be the dawn of the ISOs. Beings manifested through computer code.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is I think like AI is like the next step in human evolution.
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest with you. I'm not smart enough to know. I just think the technology stuff is like pretty. I mean, the more and more we like, even since this movies came out, we were like way more inundated with like pretty complicated technology that we don't really know how it works at all. So the intro is getting more and more realer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's not going to be something as bombastic as like like that thing, but it'll probably be more subtle. But I liked the optimism of this movie. I guess there was a lot of '80s optimism in this, which sort of like it's where Top Gun is like definitely like kind of propaganda, but it is like sort of stupid, so it doesn't really rub me as wrong of a way as like this movie. That's like, oh, like computers have so much optimism and stuff like that, because like we were speaking about like the Nixon stuff and things like that. Like I feel like definitely his anti-drug thing is like.
Do you mean Reagan?
Reagan, yeah, excuse me. Reagan's kind of like anti-drug thing. I feel like that's like some like kind of like perverse optimism that isn't like very like realistic. I think this one though is like is more like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm making that point, but it doesn't really detract much from like my score of like the movie. So
yeah, I feel like that really only applies to this vignette.
It does only apply to this vignette as well. I would agree with you on that.
And like this vignette is just, I mean, like I said, I really like this vignette.
Yeah, it airs more on the side of fun.
Do I? It's like Ursa Yatsura, That's what it reminded me of. Except Ursa Yatsura, in my opinion, is better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like I don't know, like in terms of like anime, like like is it a serial TV show? Is that what we would? What would be like the technical term for like
I
that sort of? Okay, whatever. But that's like my favorite like anime TV show, like period. So,
yeah,
um,
bro, they're coming out with a new one this year. And like no one on Anime Twit talks about it because
is it
like
the
all they
same dude?
I don't know, but it's based off the manga.
Okay,
No
I
one
will
no one
genuinely
on
look into
Anime
that.
Twitter talks about it because everyone on Anime Twitter is like Big Three, One Piece, which is part of the Big Three. But yeah,
Yeah, no, they gotta check out the Mercy. Yeah, that's right, dude. The like just check out the show just so you can like the movies better because the movies are just so good and they're better if you like kind of know the
the
characters.
movies are much better
Yeah,
than the show. The movies are great. Okay,
yeah,
so let's get into the ratings. I thought the art
yeah.
was very good. I thought it was very 80s, so I kind of detracted from that because it wasn't like very unique in any way. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I thought it was just I thought it was pretty 80s and like I do definitely enjoy like some like I like Demon City and like Wicked City and stuff, and those are pretty like 80s things as well. So I thought the art was pretty good, and I thought the cyborg looked pretty cool, especially
Yeah.
like near the end when like he was kind of like turning into like a dude. I thought like that was a pretty cool sequence. So I would give it like a 7 out of 10, but like I think detract similarly from the score is like sort of like you mentioned the wasn't like crazy innovative.
Animation, I gave 10 out of 10. Very smooth.
Yeah, no, I didn't see anything that bothered me.
The animation throughout this film is just
No, yeah, no, I'm with you. I would say I don't remember any specific animated portions that I was like ugh, and like they did some really cool animated portions too, pretty unique. So thought I executed really nicely.
plot. I gave a 7 out of 10. It's very basic, but like it does a good job.
Yeah, I would give it like a 6, just because like basic ass plot and the I feel like at least like it's not like super like I don't know, it's not you'll like if you watch it again, you'll probably like get like the same thing out of it that you did like the first time. So like that's cool and like I don't know, like even being like a more like style based person, I just thought like this was just like all this like it was like definitely like not terrible and like offensively bad, but it just wasn't anything like super special. I
Oh, we
guess.
have a question from Alex here. Let me show it. Okay, were there any bongs in the movie? If so, how was the animation on the percolation? Okay, so there were three bongs in the movie, but there was no animation on the percolation. No one was taking a hit because Japan is very anti-drug. In fact, they were shown smashing the bong, and then they showed this big thing on the screen that said Reagan Bush,
Dude, we have to
ABA.
watch that Lupin where there's a chick hitting the bong in a bathtub full of money. We definitely need to watch that one.
Hell yeah!
It's like the TVM. It's like the rated R Lupin, which sounds like it's all about what's the guy with the beard's name again?
Goemon.
Yeah, it's like about him.
Oh wait, is that Goemon?
No,
Goemon might be the guy with the sword.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think he actually might be the guy with the sword.
yeah. Fuck. I'm sorry.
No, it's I mean it's not a big deal.
I need to stop apologizing. I'm working on that. Okay, so other characters. I gave it like a 6 out of 10, but I could go down to a 5 out of 10. I don't know. They're just
Yeah,
yeah,
again, like nothing atrociously bad if they just like weren't anything that special.
they're just like they're it just is. Other I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought that cameo was awesome. I love Akira. I have it in S tier. I thought the OST was great, and I thought the world surrounding it. I thought it was really cool. I fucking love amusement park anime. Do I actually like amusement parks in real life? Not really. And then overall, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Valid. I would probably roll in probably at like a like mid six to high six, I would say. So like maybe like 6.5 to like 6.8. Because like I feel like I give it a range as being that if I'm more like stylistically in the mood, that might sit with me a lot better than as opposed to like I'm trying to watch something with like substance or whatever. But like I said earlier, I feel like it was fun and it was stylistic, very you know, well made. Just again, like not the most I feel like there was a lot of actually pretty ambitious sort of shorts in this one. So like kind of compared to the others, it definitely like I feel like was like a bit like of like a safer move
Yeah,
compared to the other
yeah.
ones.
So let's move on to Cloud. Um, Everything was beautiful. I mean, okay, so it's just a guy walking, gets caught in a storm, then a large scale nuclear blast. The background shows rocket ships. And then I kind of got into what I interpreted as the philosophical meaning of the short. I thought it was almost if walking through human history, showing the aimless role of humanity to continue the mundane acts of life despite whatever else happens. Eventually, his spirit pushes the walker on his way, showing that sometimes man needs help along their path of travel. Eventually, the walker is consumed and becomes part of the cosmos, leaving just a little boy staring into the moon. Cuts to show the clouds and the boy walking away.
Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah, like the plot, like kind of like that implied. Like it's relatively basic. I think it's definitely where the film shines for sure. Is like that, uh, kind of like the low frame rate animation, and also like the
Yes, Alex, that's my.
uh like again like message kind of the movie. I feel like it was definitely much more interesting and had a lot more going on as opposed to the previous film. Um, and I think like definitely like the the background, the backgrounds at least of like the clouds like turning like anthropomorphizing, which I think is like kind of like similarly kind of what again like technology does, anthropomorphizes the world in a positive and negative way, and like while like technology is a very human thing, I feel like this movie at least definitely was trying to imply that I think like getting more and more into technology makes us stray like further and further away from like other like human characteristics like transcendence and stuff like that, and like nature especially, you know, from
Yeah,
looking up at the clouds to like kind of like this, because like I felt like the clouds were really pretty in the beginning, and then it kind of like the clouds got kind of like grimmer and like shittier, especially after like the nuke went off and like the rocket ship. Like it was all like very it was less clouds and more like smog, and then like like the light
yes.
pierced through, and
And if you
it
notice, the
was
walker is always looking down until the very end.
right. Yeah, and I feel like that speaks to like like our world unfolds and moves, and like consciously or unconscious of that, like things are happening and like technology's being made, and like I don't know, like the world is changing, even if you're even if like you're in your own world trying not to like contribute to that. I don't know.
To me, it's like humanity never takes the time. Here, I'm going to send a quick message in the Discords.
Very well.
Trying to get Matt to hop in. It'd be good to talk to him. Um, yeah, to me, it's like, you know, um, I think the walkers always looking down because they're so preoccupied with their path and what they must do, just similar to man, humanity. Um, Humanity, we never, we get so involved in like our daily what's going on that we never look past.
What, just like kind of like putting our feet 2 feet forward kind of thing.
Yeah,
I guess what I would say to that, at least like in terms of like the context of the film, is that the protagonist it like is kind of like the climactic moment is like the protagonist is like turned from like robot boy into like an actual boy, which like makes me feel like humanity, like, yes, there is like that phenomenon that you're speaking to, but like as a human you genuinely have like a choice to like not let that happen. Like you can like acknowledge the world around you and like you can actually like do something about that. But like a robot, like you're programmed to like literally like you need to do that, you need to do this, and like they can't really escape that because like again they don't really have like a conscience, but like a human does. And
to
like,
me that's enlightenment. To me that's enlightenment. Is finding is escaping that cycle. Ian says I'm an actual boy. Okay,
wow, that's
thank you, Ian.
beautiful. I'm stoked on that.
So
Shouts
it's
out.
Pinocchio. Yes, but
That
no.
well, no, that's an interesting. To be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
an
yeah. That's
interesting
a very
connection.
interesting parallel.
I would agree with that. Definitely, I feel like Pinocchio plays with similar themes.
I personally enjoy Cloud more than Pinocchio.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I actually haven't seen Pinocchio in like a pretty long time. So I
Oh, check
mean,
out this
no, there's
guy.
not that yet, but I think the following short actually does speak a little bit more to the Geppetto being eaten by the whale. Um,
Okay, let's get to our ratings. I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I gave tens across the board. I thought this was brilliant. I thought it was just brilliant. I gave it all tens.
yeah, no,
Overall tens.
I thought it was very cool, very unique. Definitely made me think a lot. I rewatched it again because like it was sort of like ambiguous, and I didn't want to like for I don't know. I wanted to like talk about it more in depth and give it the I don't know, the love it deserves. So, and even watching it like a second time, still found it very engaging and like took away like new things from it. Uh, Watching it a second time, so I think that signals to me that it's definitely a good flick. So, I concur. Yup. All
Very
right.
true. All right,
What's the next one, bud?
Deprive, which you asked me about before this. So I had some questions about this one, but
Oh, this is the next one. Oh shit! I messed up. I thought it was the Frankenstein one. Sorry.
yeah, no worries. So it opens on an explosion and the guy walking away. Opens on a war. The main guy gets hit with an attack, gets transported to a lab where he's transformed. And I have this in parentheses and a question mark into a cyborg, and fights the robot villains. We see evil villain with green hair. Yes, he is a cyborg. Okay, this was me saying the main character is a cyborg, or more like an android because he's like fully robotic. Um, the main character is tied up and shocked, but he escapes because he is a cyborg. He attacks the green guy henchman, beats up green guy, rescues girl from the beginning. OST Bobs. Unsure whether he's. Yeah,
Yeah, I
my
mean, to
notes
be
were
honest,
really
I
shitty.
thought.
I apologize.
Wait, what? No,
My
you.
notes were really shitty. I
No, no,
apologize.
no. Yeah, because I mean, to be honest, like I thought this was like. Now, to be honest, I now wish I wasn't as harsh on the Oh my gosh, why did I on
Starlight.
Yeah, I kind of wish I wasn't as harsh on that one because yeah, this one I thought totally sucked. I didn't. I thought the message was super uninteresting, and also like the plot was kind of like convoluted. I thought. Um,
Yeah, the fact it didn't really. A lot of these, the fact that they don't have dialogue sort of serves it. It serves it artistically, where it's a lot more about interpretation. This one, I didn't think it was all that artistic, and I thought maybe some dialogue would really clear up what was going on. And the fact that it didn't have dialogue, rather than clearing up the message and what was going on, it just sort of made it more convoluted. I did give it a good rating because I did really like um I did really like the art and the animation.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I
So
don't
you
know,
thought it came back with the, yeah, you know what? I thought the animation and the art style was like, I thought it was like kind of cool, but I hate, dude, the ball robots are just, from Mobile Suit Gundam, like they're all the same. Like I don't know and from that last one that totally sucked. Like they're carrying that. Why does every robot antagonist have to be like a bunch of like
autistic.
balls together?
Yeah.
Like I literally don't get that. So I thought the antagonist so looked cool. You're right about that, and I did think like the robot cyborg protagonist looked cool, but like the plot was pretty convoluted, and I guess we could get into our specific ratings of like each thing, but like I thought this was pretty meh in general.
I thought the animation was great for the combat. I gave it like a 9 out of 10. Art I gave an 8 out of 10. Plot I gave a 6 out of 10. Characters 4 out of 10. Other I thought it was cool world, good music. I gave an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Overall I gave it a 7 out of 10. Um,
Okay.
you
Yeah, I
know,
feel at least like for me, big like the things that lost me were just definitely like the actually to be honest, like I felt like the characters like made sense for like again like kind of what like the theme of like the full movie is supposed to like be about. So like I didn't think they were particularly egregiously bad, but like me being so confused about sort of like the protagonists and like what they are, like it's it I don't know. I just thought it was super all right. And like even when like you kind of like figure out like what um like the like if he was like a cyborg or not, like I still feel like the message wasn't particularly great. So like the writing I think really like for me. So like 2 out of 10 for that. But like I think the rest of the stuff to be honest was very like comparable and like everyone knew what
yeah.
they were doing, but like the script just like sucked.
Yeah, 5 out of 7 perfect Reddit anime from Mediazuka Flizer.
Uh,
So a amen. Amen.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this anime gets a 5
Gets a 5 out of 7.
out of 7. See,
Yeah.
did you like the G4 over dramatic pause between?
Yeah, that was beautiful, David. It made me want to kiss you.
Does having 6 robot eyes make you want to kiss me so?
Yeah.
Well, you're remember that remember the eyeballs from Rick and Morty?
Wait,
Eyeball
yeah.
cereal? Yeah.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
away from my eye holes.
Yeah. It's one
Those
of
are
those.
my eye holes.
Yeah.
Can't have my eye
Get away from my
holes.
eye holes, dude.
Yeah, that's a really great fucking eat some fucking shit, you stupid bitch. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
That's what I say that way too much.
Oh
There
yeah.
was a period of time when I would just say that to people all the time, and they would be like, "Oh, it's like a Rick and Morty reference," and they'd be like, "Yeah, you can't just say that to me."
Well, dude, you got to go all in. That's how you weed out the good ones from the bad ones. 'Cause if they don't get the reference, it's like, sorry, dude. You if you can't get my pickle Rick jokes, then you don't get to be in my life. That's just how it works. Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't
I've
make the
stopped
rules.
watching Rick and Morty because like I realized it was kind of cringe, and I was like, "Yeah, I got to stop doing this."
Wait, Griffin, you're telling me a guy turning into a pickle isn't funny? I
I
don't know,
mean,
dude. We might have
I
to
mean,
we might have to end this podcast right here, dude. I'm sorry. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, I could just do this all alone because I want to talk about this fucking movie. All right,
Fair
up
enough.
next
I'll
is
stick around. I'll stick around. I can
Up
handle it.
next is Frank and Gears. Here, I'm gonna change the group layout real quick.
This one was pretty.
Boom. This
I
one's
enjoyed this one.
better.
So.
Yeah, Frank and it was cool. I actually oh shit. I did not rate it. I guess I didn't get to it, so we can just go through and like rate it live and talk about it.
Wow.
So, mad scientist trying to start up a robot seems to keep failing. Electricity doesn't generate enough. Suddenly, a giant purple beam comes down and everything goes black and white. The lab begins breaking apart. Robot comes to life. The scientist, ecstatic, accidentally teaches the robot to kill, leading to his own death.
Yeah. I thought this one was pretty. It was kind of like that in the background. Definitely like it was like some. It was like very. I enjoyed how it shot out the the Mary Shelley book. I felt like in terms of like sort of like the I guess aesthetics of like his lab and stuff, and being like big and like some like big like church tower with like the electrical conductor, and it's like I mean the big clock tower, excuse me, with a conducting all the electricity. Um, I thought that was pretty interesting, and like I guess I definitely like the analogy of like traversing time and like kind of like the I guess like kind of what happens when uh kind of a human chooses to do that, which is like usually like negative, as the ending of this one spoke to. Um, so I thought it was really great, both because like I enjoyed the message of the thing, and I also really liked. I thought that art style was really great too.
Yeah, I like the art a lot. If I had to give the art a rating, I'd probably give it. I didn't write it down, which is big fuck up on my part. Sorry, viewers, um, and David. Um,
Unbelievable.
um,
Guy doesn't bring
I
any notes to podcast.
yeah, it's not like I have like fucking
Yeah,
12 pages of notes on
exactly.
like the
I
whole
wouldn't
thing.
really sorry. You actually took genuine notes. So
Yeah, I'd give the art probably like 9, 10. Let's
nice.
say strong 9 to a light 10.
All right.
Anthony Fantani, animation super smooth. We're seeing a theme here. The animation is good.
Yeah.
I give it a 10. Um, plot, I thought it was good, but I wasn't like super into it. I'd give it a 7.
It's fair.
Characters, I thought the characters were interesting. No dialogue, but I thought they were still interesting.
Yes.
I give them like a 6 out of 10.
Yep.
Other, there wasn't really much other. I thought the background layouts and designs were really cool. So I'd probably give that like an 8.
Yeah.
Overall, if I just had to amalgamate those scores, I'd probably give it an 8.
Nice. Okay. I definitely like 9 if not 10 out of 10 for me. I thought everything was really really good actually. I enjoyed all aspects of it. I guess going back to like the character thing, I thought I really liked the character that doctor character because like, he was pretty like I thought he was very benevolent. Like he was like probably like a good dude and kind of like just wanted to like revive this robot. But like like I think a lot of scientists are like that. Like if you look at like at least like the people who made like the atom bomb in like America, they were definitely like a lot of like smart people who kind of just like wanted to like be smart. And then they were like, wait, what do you mean we're making a bomb to like blow up a city? And the government's like, yes, that's what you've been making this whole time. And they're like, oh, like we just wanted to like experiment and like find stuff out about like the universe. And like we kind of like just like made this bomb and didn't really like mean to. And I feel like a lot of scientists are like that. It's not like some like evil mastermind. It's more so like just like things get out of hand and uh yeah. So I guess I thought this short really spoke to that, which is like I guess I just like for me personally, I really like that I think that's an interesting thing to talk, like, I guess, concept to approach. I thought Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle like kind of approaches that similarly. That's one of like my favorite books of his. So I really liked this short. I thought it was great.
Yeah, yeah, I thought it was great too. All right, let's talk about Presence, which was definitely sort of the crown jewel vignette of this film. So Robot City, there's this man with a family, takes care of the robot doll in a cabin in the woods. The robot begins to take on features not programmed for her. She tells him he's lonely and comes on to him. She embraces him and he throws her against a wall. She gets a cut on her lip and begins bleeding. Next, we cut to when the man is old. We see him and his daughter and granddaughter. They leave. Suddenly, the doll appears, then explodes. He covers his face, then it disappears. It was all a daydream. The man returns to the cabin where he kept the doll, where it lies in ruins. Next, we cut to when the man is older, with white hair this time. The doll stands before him. Next shot, his wife comes to get him and sees him walking away with the doll. She blinks and they disappear.
Yes.
The art style was, you know what? I'm going to be honest. The character designs I thought were weak.
That's fair. That's fair. I thought
Um,
they were. I thought. I mean, I thought the doll looked great.
I thought the doll looked great too, but I
Like the
just don't
little
like the
robots
faces.
he
I
made.
just don't like the faces.
I mean, I guess like I guess I feel like what it was also trying to, uh, like how they were like taking like this. I guess like the anthropomorphic robot's head. The kids weren't like playing with it and stuff like that, and like you couldn't really tell like who was a robot and like who wasn't really.
Yeah,
Um, which I felt that's sort of why like at least like the character design wasn't like super vivid, was because I felt like it was kind of trying to make, and I felt like with him like leaving with the robot, that like I felt like this one was trying to say that humans and robots aren't really, at least like when you're trying to like, I don't know, if you're trying to make a robot that's like anthropomorphically very close to like a human, I think people will be shocked how fast that robot becomes very human very
yes,
quickly. I think,
yes.
which I felt like that's sort of why but like maybe I'm like over rationalizing though.
Yeah, I agree. So, if we want to get in, I just thought it was very artistically done. I thought this had the strongest plot. I still think the art was
Boy,
good.
yeah, talking. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, one of the few
Um,
ones that actually had
I thought the plot was very interesting, very intriguing. I thought the characters were deep, as deep as you can get in a short vignette. Um, yeah, I really thought it was well executed. I thought the OST was great. Um,
Yeah, it was
I,
definitely the most like dramatic. Well, like Clouds was very dramatic, but like definitely more like abstract. I thought this one was most like dramatic kind of piece.
yeah. Um, I don't know. Like, I just didn't really like the character design, but the animation was great too. Um, if I had art style, I'd probably give a 6. I don't know, anywhere from a 6 to an 8. It's really hard for me to settle on it because there's some things I really liked and some things I don't like. So let's just say a 7 because it's right in the middle. Animation super smooth, 9, 10. Uh, Plot 10, characters 10. I thought both. I thought the writing was really the strong point of this vignette. Um, let's see, other, yeah, I thought everything was well executed. I thought just overall very good. I give that a 10.
So in total, what would you say?
Um, I'd give it um in total. I would give it a 9.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would also give this one a 10. I thought I thought this was, maybe I'm just easy on these. I don't know, but I also really enjoyed this one too. Definitely a lot to, I think, unpack. And I thought, like, with some short form media, like getting too into like shit like characters and plot, like sometimes like that doesn't do really any service for any of the piece, because like you only have enough time to like get emotionally invested in like a character, and then like it kind of like you have to develop the character, so it sort of takes away from like the time to build a strong theme, because you're too busy focusing on like trying to like put a compelling character together. So like it kind of like it's just like everything you just like don't want. Which I felt like was that the what's the one that started with a D? Deprive, Deprave, whatever.
Deprive.
That's what I felt like that short really suffered from. It was like we're trying to do this character thing, but we also kind of want this really strong theme, and it just didn't straddle that very nicely. But I thought this one did a really good job of straddling that, and I really liked the protagonist. I thought he was very interesting as a character, and this one I think might actually have been a bit longer too. So maybe that served it
Yeah, it was a
better,
bit longer.
being that again, like you're trying to like develop a character, you're also trying to develop a strong theme. I mean, this one was this one like 30 minutes, you think, or was it less than that?
Something like that. I don't know. It was longer.
It
It
was on
had
the
the longest runtime because most of these were pretty short.
yeah. So yeah, I thought this one was great. Yeah, and like you said earlier, it was kind of like the crown piece of like the film. So it makes sense why it's got the longest duration, more character, probably had the biggest budget.
Okay, let's move on. A Tale of Two Robots, Chapter 3. I just said an American, not even like a robot, like a mech suit,
Oh
was
yeah,
attacking a Japanese city. And so these Japanese teenagers got their own mech suit, which is ran by like a ton of people. It was just very, it felt very like shonen battle anime. I wasn't, I think this was the weakest.
yeah. I thought this one was kind of just like I felt like it fell in a similar vein of like the Dark Light Angel one or whatever. I thought this one was definitely more like on like kind of like the fun side, and was less
Yeah,
concerned. It was like pretty like typical with its theme, like Western culture and its technology is kind of like ruined certain like traditional approaches to just life in Japan, and this is sort of just like that sort of like ideological butting of heads being manifested in kind of like a mech war context, which I thought was cool. I mean, it was fun. I thought it was pretty slapstick, and like I thought it was pretty self aware of kind of what it was, which it was like kind of trying to be like more fun. Wasn't anything super. I thought it wasn't as impactful as like the Frankenstein one or Presence or Cloud. But I still thought it
no,
was fine though. Like
it was
again, like
fun.
wasn't offensively bad. I thought.
In my opinion, this one had the strongest like art and animation.
I mean, I again, like you kind of mentioned, I thought all of the art and animation for all of them were actually pretty strong.
They were, but if I had to give the strongest, I would choose this one.
All right, valid, totally valid.
So I think my overall rating: art style 10, animation 10, plot I give like a 4.
Yeah.
It was fun, but like characters, the characters were pretty fun. I enjoyed them. I
Mm-hmm.
give them an 8.
Okay.
Um, Overall, like other, I would say, NA. There's not much I can remember other than the others, other than like the previous categories I mentioned. Um, I'd say I'd give this like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
Okay. That's fair.
And finally, we got the last short, Nightmare.
Oh, sorry. Let me. Sorry. I was just kind of I
Yeah.
was rewatching the that one a little bit, just so like to kind of like uh just rekindle a little bit of what I was thinking when we were watching it, and I think my overall 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good time.
Yeah, it is a good time.
It was clear.
I just didn't think it was that. You know,
Yeah, fair enough.
I just didn't think it was.
Yep, I hear you, dude.
You know, there was nothing like interesting or like important said in it. We just crossed an hour, Dave. This is our longest podcast to date.
Well, sorry.
No,
I was
no,
probably
that's
ranting.
good.
You know?
That's good. That's good. Viewers, how you doing? Drop some
Ranting.
comments. Let's see how you're feeling. We got 2 viewers right now.
Whoa, that's super crazy, dude.
That's super wild. That's like 2 more viewers than we usually have.
Whoa. Boom.
We're having a great time.
Oh yeah.
Out of water.
Thanks, God.
Thank you, base God. All right, Nightmare. First thing I noted, it was rotoscoped. At least it looks rotoscoped, which is cool. I do like rotoscope animation. I feel like it kind of defies the purpose of animation, but I think it's pretty trip. So here's a gigantic alien appears over the sky shooting lightning bolts. They cause strange metal apparatuses to jump up from the ground. They attack metal objects and form metallic monsters from them. A man is awake and tries to run from the metal monsters, but their leader, who is transforming all of them, keeps appearing in front of them and chases him around the city. Eventually they end up in the main baddie's headquarters, and the guy almost gets drank but survives. Just when the robots seem to turn in their robot overlord, that was just a word salad. The sun rises and they disintegrate, leaving a ruined city. So this was a good ending. I thought it was pretty cool. Let's look at this comment Ian dropped.
I think, to be honest, I thought this one was like okay, and I feel like it sort of ended on kind of like a weak note, in my opinion. I thought this one was super okay.
I liked it. So, Dave, have you ever seen Naruto?
I'm not acknowledging that comment because I know this guy's a freaking clown and he's not serious ever and he's a total noob, so
get wrecked.
So yeah, get roasted.
Get fucking wrecked.
Get wrecked.
I don't know.
He's not good at Overwatch, especially.
I thought it was very much interesting. I liked the art style. I liked the mechanical monsters. I thought overall it was a very good, like, finishing touch to the film. I don't know.
Again, like, art and animation were like good, but like I guess I just like the theme of like, you know, like you and I are like we're not like the people that are like, you know, turning like whole warehouses into like robots. But like that is happening around us, and like we don't really have much control over that. Which I guess is like kind of cool. And now that I'm thinking about that, it is like kind of interesting. So maybe I was being a little bit harsh on it being like a not very great ending. I guess like I don't know. I just thought like Cloud and Presence were like so much more interesting thematically that like I thought this one was just like I really liked the robots like style and like how like it was kind of like I don't know, like the evil robots were kind of sprouting out of like technology that's like pretty like mundane's probably like the wrong word to describe it, but like
no. I think that's a good word.
Just like technology that you like you look at your refrigerator, you're like, how would my refrigerator like kill me? But like you think about like what if like, you know, your refrigerator is like is like a computer and like it malfunctions and like, you know, like all of your food spoils, like your refrigerator could like kill you that way. Which I felt like this was like kind of like visually manifesting in a way that like we could arrive at that conclusion faster. So yeah, now that I've talked about it a bit more, yeah, this was actually pretty good. Okay, I changed my mind. I thought this was actually okay.
Yeah. I guess I never really got that deep into it thought-wise. I I just really enjoyed the animation. I just really enjoyed the art.
Right.
I thought it was very interesting. This whole idea of technology being weaponized against you. The idea that because we see it now with everything being programmed into a computer, that you can hack various things. Like you can hack a Tesla, right, and like take over someone's car and like drive it into a wall. You can be on the freeway doing 80 and someone can hack your Tesla and just slam on the brake. We see
Right.
Teslas exploding. Basically, what I'm saying is fuck Tesla. Um,
I mean, it's a weird ride. I don't know if you've been in one, but like it's
I
hands
have,
down like driving a desktop. It's
yeah,
like a desktop with wheels. It feels,
it's very strange.
yeah, it's not like a car.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
Do I want one? Yeah, but do I
I
still
prefer to
think
have a
it?
Harley. Do you have erectile dysfunction? Riding my Harley with my boner pills. Okay, I'm sorry. Um,
Yeah, so I'd probably give this one art style. I'd give it a 9. Animation, I give it a 10. I thought this was just really smoothly animated, and there was a lot of really difficult animation they did in this one. Plot, I'd probably give it 7.
yeah,
Characters, there weren't really many characters, so I'd probably give it a 6. Overall, I'd probably give it a 7 or an 8.
yeah, I'd give it an 8. I thought it was good, and like I feel like putting like the more like character heavy ones like in the middle, I think was like a good move because I think you definitely want to end on like a more like thematic note, at least like in terms of like trying to like drive the theme home because I think like short films do serve like more like like a vehicle for like a theme as opposed to like a vehicle for like a good character like a TV show would, you know? So I thought it was better to end on like something more like character abstract and more like focused on like the I guess like the fallout of like over tech like overdoing technology. So
Yeah.
I thought it was good, and yeah, I liked how I've talked myself into enjoying it more. So 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, okay, so the final scene of the film leaves us with the robot Carnival sandship falling apart on a dune in the desert and a sphere being picked up by a man from the wreckage. He takes it home for his family, revealing a music box, which in turn explodes, killing all of them. Movie ends.
Yep, yeah. So which I thought that was a great way to end it. Could have honestly done it like better, in my opinion, because that's like absolutely what kind of like the bottom line of the movie was is that there were some more optimistic outlooks on technology throughout it, some more negative. Uh, but at the end of the day, like you really don't know until like you experience it. And like you could look at something and be like, oh, like that's not gonna hurt a fly, and then like right, like it blows up your whole house. So yeah, I thought it was great. Similar to the
Yeah,
beginning, I thought it was super like for like being like 1 minute, like really good.
yeah. I'm
So
not gonna rate this section just because it was like one scene.
yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough.
I think I already rated the beginning, and it's pretty much just a continuation of the beginning.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Thank you for everyone on Twitter who checked in. This has been the 80s Anime Playlist Podcast. Oh, yeah. Thank you, everyone on Discord who tuned in. These are just our buddies. Um, we love telling you about all this shit. We love watching anime. We love doing this podcast. We don't care if no one watches. We don't care if everyone watches. Anyway, have a great day. Happy Saturday. And peace.
Happy Saturday, team. Take it easy, Griff.
You too.